spiritual Nutricide. And if Christianity or Islam is going to be of any benefit to black people, it has to reconnect itself to the ancient African spiritual practices that our elders once upheld. Extremely important. Beliefs in dogma do not help people. Beliefs in dogma do not help people. Spiritual Nutricide. Dogma doesn't help nobody. All dogma does is drive wedges between black people who believe something and other black people who don't believe it. That's all dogma does. It creates a narrow-minded view of everything. It breeds a certain religious arrogance. It breeds a certain type of religious supremacy. And so now that I'm Muslim, I go out into the world with the Quran, and I think I'm better than everybody else. There might be an elder there who is not a Muslim, but because I'm Muslim, I believe that I'm more right and exact than he is, and he's old enough to be my great-grandfather, just because somebody told me at the mosque that we are right and everybody else is wrong. You see the same thing in Christianity, the exact same thing. If you don't believe in this book, you are not on God's side. Where is the proof for that? And one of the shortcomings of our religion, one of the reasons why we have this dogmatic, conquering mentality as it relates to converting people, is because when you look at Christianity and Islam and how it's been used on black people, you'll see that it was forced on black people. It was forced on black people in slavery. It was forced on black people in Africa. And I know a lot of my Sunni Muslim brothers, bless their soul, they're still defending the Arab invasion of North Africa. There's still a sizable proportion of Orthodox African-American Muslims who are defending Arabs, claiming that Islam did not come into North Africa by way of bloodshed. And to them, I would only direct them to the scholarship of African scholars who lived during the Arab invasion of Islam. I'm not talking about people, historians who went back and studied. I'm talking about read the words of Africans who lived in North Africa at the time of the Arab invasion in the 6th and 7th century, and they tell you that the Arabs massacred millions, desecrated the culture, destroyed statues. They did the exact same thing that the Europeans would do a couple hundred years after them. No difference. But we're defending Arabs. Why? Because Islam was nurtured by the Arab. Can you have Islam without Arabism? Of course you can. But if you're going to take out the Arabism in Islam, you're going to have to put the Pan-Africanism back in. If you're going to take the Arabism out of Islam, you got to put the Pan-Africanism back in. Why do I say that? Because some people are probably saying to themselves, Brother Curtis, why can't you just have Islam without any culture? Why? Because all religion is nursed in a cultural incubator. All religion is nursed in a cultural incubator. Muhammad was an Arab. Yes, he was an African who was an Arab, but he was still an Arab. So Islam was nursed in the cultural incubator of Arab culture. Christianity, when it was taken from the African priests and bishops and stolen by the Europeans and Emperor Constantine, they took that religion and they nursed it in the incubator of white supremacy. You can't have religion without a cultural medium. Just like you can't have a human being without oxygen, you can't have a religion without a cultural incubator. It is ridiculous for black people to think that you can practice Islam free of culture. You can practice Christianity free of culture. And with African traditional religions, you see that you can't practice religion free of culture, but they don't try to hide it. They don't try to lie about it. In the Yoruba, in the Dagara, in the Dogon, they let you know the culture and the religion go hand in hand. The culture and the religion go hand in hand. But the Muslim is trying to act like Arabism is not a part of modern day Islam. And the Christian is trying to act like white supremacy is not a part of modern day Christianity. It has to be, because it was nurtured in those cultural incubators.